adapts to the colors that you've chosen for your character's costume.
That's nice.
So it's not red and black, it's your character's colors.
That is cool.
Another really cool thing about our game is we have what we call a virtual closet. So as you move through the game, all the costume pieces you pick up, they live in your virtual closet. You can put on anything that you want to be seen wearing in the game that you think is cool.
Goodness.
And it won't impact your powers and abilities that you've equipped. It's completely separate. So what you wear and what you've equipped for fighting, for power, are two separate things. You can always look cool and tricked out in whatever you think is coolest, but you don't sacrifice power for coolness factor. And that's something that we're pretty excited about, because in this game, you know, what you look like is a big part of, you know, progressing through the game and just being cool. So that gives you like sort of the optimal benefit of I can look how I want and I can also equip what I want at any time.
Very interesting. And last year they were toying around with the idea that able to play against PC opponents. Will that still be the same?
Oh yes. Here at the show, we're also showing a player versus player arena. It's like a battleground arena set in a Star Labs mining facility.
Can we take a quick look at that?
Absolutely. If we just go down one, do you want to go down there?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, and I see here that these are the people that are playing, correct?
Yes, these are other people playing. Some are here at the show.
Oh, wow, look at that.
We have like 9 different demo stations here at the show where everybody's playing in this player versus player battleground. This is a Star Labs mining facility, and what would they be mining here? Well, kryptonite, of course. What else? And so that is drawing both heroes and villains to this location. Of course, the heroes want to save this mining facility and take it over and get it away from the hands of the villains. The villains want to control it. Well, I think we all know why.
Exactly.
There are 3 control points here, and you're teamed up in an 8-on-8 arena battle. One thing that a lot of people really like is this game is optimized to just pick up and play at a moment's notice. You can jump in and jump into an arena battle. This battle is here anytime you want to play. You just queue up when you log in the game, and within a few minutes, here you go in a major 8-on-8 fight.
Yeah, this is going to be a pretty good game.
No waiting, no building up. It's always there whenever you're ready to play this game. This is an ice field where you're encasing your enemies in ice. And actually, is that our power here? Are we the ice guy? So we are actually a villain, and the suit that you're wearing is an iconic suit. You have worked your way up this game to where the iconic character that you represent has recognized what you've done and has said, hey dude, I want you fighting for me. I can't be everywhere. I need you to stand in for me. This character is wearing the Lex Luthor inspired suit given to him by Lex. Our Lex has these 2 really huge grenade launchers on his shoulders, and that suit reflects the Lex battle suit that Lex actually wears. So you're like Lex's stand-ins. You better be, you know, badass if I can say that. This is who you're going to be. You're a villain. There are 3 control points that you're fighting over in this particular area. And along the way, there's some pretty cool things you can do.
No, that's cool. Now, a quick question, like most of the player versus player maps, will it be 5 versus 5, 10 versus 10?
We have some that are 2-on-2, some that are 4-on-4, some that are 8-on-8, and I think we may have a few bigger battle arenas, but right now I think 8-on-8 is what we're targeting at the high end of the game. And I should also mention that to be here fighting wearing Lex's battle suit, you've fought a lot of battles, and every time you fought, you got pieces of that suit to finally where Lex said, hey, you know what? You get my suit, you wear my colors, you wear my guns. So it's really almost like an end game in the game, which is really very console action game style, where you're building up and you're progressing to a point where you get to literally go in as almost the iconic. You're his proxy in this fight. And there are several of these very high-end battle arenas where you're going to get to wear this very high-end battle suit and fight for your iconic character. Really fight instead of him, you're there. Because the value proposition behind this game because the next legend is you. And in this PvP zone, the whole point here is you've taken on that level of legendary, and now you're going to prove yourself.
And another thing I wanted to note too, not only does the game look better, but the PlayStation 3 version looks a lot better than last year's. Last year's version was a little bit
Rough.
not so much rough, but dull. The graphics are very vivid and very sharp this time, and they've done a lot of great work. I mean,
Awesome.
Much better than last year's version.
Thanks. Also, one last thing I'll mention. This is one of my favorite parts of the game. Maybe I'm easily impressed. But right when you start the game, you get a really cool super movement. You can have super speed like the Flash. You can have flight like Superman. Or you can have acrobatic movement like this character does, which is based on the Batman. It's not like, oh, play 20 levels, trudge your way through the game. It's like, boom, the minute you build your character, you choose a super movement mode. And each of the super movement modes have a combat advantage. They each have a way of enabling you to have a unique advantage in combat. And it's very balanced, so super speed, flight, and acrobatics, they each have ways of fighting that are unique to that movement mode that give you an advantage. So not only do you have superpowers, you have standard combat abilities, but then you have these special combat moves that are attached to your super movement as well. And it makes fighting a whole lot of fun. I mean, hey, it is the DC universe, right?
Absolutely.
And we have a few quick questions.
Sure.
First, the business model for payment, is it going to be a $14.99 traditional MMO, or is it going to be more, what is that new market where you
Microtransactions?
Yeah.
We're actually doing a little bit of both. We will have a monthly subscription, and every month we'll be putting new adventures and content in the game. So it's just like when you play an action game and you maybe buy a zone or a content edition. In our game, we'll be putting new things in every month. So there is a monthly, and then there will also be microtransactions so that you can add additional things to your character, to your power set, just making the experience a little more fun in whatever way you want to go. So we'll do a little bit of both.
Okay, it's going to be out November, what was it?
November 2nd.
November 2nd, so we have that to look forward to. Is there going to be any betas before that, or are you just...
There will be. I can reveal that coming soon you'll hear more about beta registration opening and about some pretty exciting pre-order exclusives as well.
Look for that email.
Exactly. All right, perfect. Yeah, we're very impressed. It was much better than last year, what we saw. I mean, by far, it looks very interesting. Actually, looking forward to it.
All right.